So if you are struggling with muddy mixes, having trouble getting your vocals clear and really popping out the mix, well, today I'm about to go over Ozone 11 Advanced, where I'm going to show you guys how I specifically use it for hip hop and rap mixes, just because in hip hop and rap we want heavy, loud hitting bass, but that usually sacrifices everything else in the mix, whether it's ducking with the limiter or whether it's a lot of EQs clashing, frequencies clashing, because there's just so much going on that the vocals just can't sit nice and even on a hip hop track. And another big reason too is a lot of times in hip hop and rap, a lot of it's like YouTube beats. Like people just download a 2-track beat, whether they buy it or just steal it off of YouTube. And it's really hard to really get those vocals to sit in there. So that's where Ozone 11 Advanced comes in with some powerful features to really change the game, to really simplify the mix and mastering process.
Combat, this a banger, huh?
Alright, so I'm gonna bring up this session right here. This is a session by John Mack. This is an unreleased track. I'm gonna play a little bit right here.
Oh my God. Hey, look at how you talking, so these other hoes can run. She said that ain't feeding her, that boy a bum. When she with her friends, she get wretched in the club. Top 2 and not 2. You know you the one.
Awesome. So that's John Mack right there. And one of my favorite features of Ozone is the stabilizer. So Ozone is meant to be used as a mastering plugin, usually used just on a 2-track mixed track, or whether you have like your vocals and beat and you just kind of want to help balance everything together. But the way I tend to use plugins is I like to use them for what they're usually not purposed for. So for instance, the stabilizer is used to kind of like help stabilize a master, to make sure if your bass is too loud, it kind of helps calm things down. Same thing with your high end, vice versa. Now, the way I use stabilizer on vocals is I actually use the cut feature, and I just mess with the amount, speed, and sensitivity to kind of help tame, whether it's like high frequency or low frequency, just to help give more balance to the overall EQ. In this case, the vocal. One really cool feature that I like about the new stabilizer in Ozone 11 is the mid-side feature. So usually in the old Ozone 10, we just have a stereo, which I used to use, and I just use cut right here. Now, what makes this really cool is I can now go to mid-side, where I can control strictly the mid parts of the frequency of the vocal or the sides of it, which I feel like is extremely powerful. I'm gonna play the vocal without this right here.
Oh my God. Hey, look at how you talking, so these other hoes can run. She said that ain't feeding her, that boy a bum. When she with her friends, she get wretched in the club. Top 2 and not 2.
And this is with it.
Oh my God. Hey, look at how you talking, so these other hoes can run. She said that ain't feeding her, that boy a bum. When she with her friends, she get wretched in the club. Top 2 and not 2. You know you the one.
So you guys already heard that. It controlled and balanced the high end and the mid highs of the vocals really well. It's just like a really nice, clean, even sound. Now in this specific example, so the way I mix John Mack's vocals is I tend to push his high end a lot. I like to saturate and push his high frequencies and then later kind of calm them down. I like a high energy type of boost to his vocals, and then I kind of just calm down the highs. I'll kind of mess with the amount just to kind of show you guys what it sounds like.
So these other hoes can run. She said that ain't feeding her, that boy a bum. When she with her friends, she get wretched in the club. Top 2 and not 2. You know you the one. She just wanna party, I say lottie dotty, baby. I just want your body, yaddy yaddy yaddy, baby. When she rock her hips, and she.
Awesome. Now, I will say to be careful with the stabilizer, because if you guys do push it too much, it can start mudding up the vocal or just really taking life out of the vocal. A big reason why I boost up the highs so much and kind of add saturation, those harmonics, is I really want to add that liveliness to Mack's vocals. I feel like for his style and everything, it just sounds really good. I like to use a stabilizer just to help control and tame some of that high end, so I'm not just bringing in EQ and just cutting out whatever, or even just a multiband. I'm able to actually have a stabilizer that uses AI to help kind of just like find the problematic frequencies. Another way I use Ozone 11 to clear up vocals is I put it on a 2-track beat. So like I said, in hip hop and rap, a lot of us are using YouTube beats we find on BeatStars, whether they're Wave or MP3, doesn't really matter, they're 2-track. Now, the problem with that is it's sometimes hard, especially if they're mastered super loud or not mixed well, to be able to get the vocal to sit correctly in the beat. Sometimes we want it right in the middle of the beat, but there's too much is going on, too much clashing to where it just doesn't make it possible. It sounds muddier, the volume goes in and out too much. So one trick that I do is I put Ozone 11 on my beat, and then I'll use the equalizer just to kind of EQ, it just depending where, but I'll EQ a little bit of the mid-high out a little bit. and I'll use a stabilizer, just kind of give life and kind of shape the beat a little bit. Sometimes the beat's overcompressed or the bass is really causing muddiness in the beat in itself, which causes muddiness in the overall song. So adding this stabilizer just on the beat kind of just adds a little bit more clarity to the beat, which again adds more clarity to the song.
She said that ain't feeding her, that boy bum. When she with her friends, she get wretched in the club. Top two and not two, you know you the one. She just wanna party, I say Lottie.
Cool. Next thing I do is I use the imager right here. I'll put frequencies from the low end, mid low, or mid, yeah, the low, the mid high, and high right here. This is what I kind of do for separation. I kind of do a little bit of mono right here going down, and then I have my mid, my high, mid high, my high just kind of like up a little bit. Then I use a little bit of the stereoize at transparent 2 right here.
She said that ain't feeding her, that boy bum. When she
And the amount, I'll do about like 42%. I won't do the whole 100% on this. I don't want to add too much of like this. I don't really know what exactly it's going to do to the beat if I, do 100%. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I like to leave the beat kind of similarly to how the artist has it referenced already. I've learned that doing too much can sometimes take away, like, yeah, maybe I evened out the beat with the bass and everything, but the artist had intended for the bass to hit the way it did before. So I tried to make sure I clean things up, but don't overdo it to make sure it's still acceptable, like close to the reference for the artist. So the next thing I really want to show you guys is the clarity feature in Ozone 11 Advanced. It's such a cool feature. So pretty much what it does is, I'll show you guys right here. I'll activate it. We see this feature right here. We have an amount right here, which is pretty self-explanatory. We have tilt, we have an attack and release, and we have pretty much where we could assign our frequency range that we want it to get affected. The best way I could describe it in words is like, it kind of like, if your vocal is kind of like just like a it could be like a muddy mess on the vocal or whatever. This kind of like cleans it up a little bit, kind of scrapes away some of the dirty edges and kind of just gives it that clarity that it needs. And I'll show you guys an example right here.
baby screaming when she see a sus, nigga. Sport mode, ain't no keeping up with me. Last dude broke, can't afford a 4-star. Baby run plays, I make her the point guard. She so bad.
So that's before, and this is after.
Baby screaming when she see a sus, nigga. Sport mode, ain't no keeping up with me. Last dude broke, can't afford a 4-star. Baby run plays, I make her the point guard. She so bad, I know she going for it. This right Europeans, driving like a toy car. You cannot stop me when I be locked in. Them boys did me cold, we are not friends. If it's not money, bro, I do not spend. Every month I stack 10, you just wanna stock 10.
So I just feel like this is some pretty powerful technology. The fact that I could, if I even just have a reference done, right, and I'm like, but I just want to like listen to this in the car, just clean it up a little bit. I can literally add this on, just add this clarity feature and just kind of mess with the knob a little bit and just make my vocals clear. It's pretty crazy. Like I said, I wouldn't rely on this to specifically clear up your vocals. But I think if you're struggling with a tad bit of muddiness or you just want a quick little reference, I think this works really well. Now, this tilt feature right here, again, from my understanding, I believe it's just like noise, like white noise, pink noise, and brown noise. I believe this way it is like brown noise. This way is like pink noise, I believe. And over here is like white noise. When I'm using this, if I feel like the vocals are getting too bright, I'll tend to tilt to the left. If I feel like it's the opposite, I'll just tilt to the right, or I'll just kind of leave it in the middle. So the next thing I want to really tell you guys about this is the AI function. So with Ozone, I've personally had Ozone since Ozone 6. So I've had it from Ozone 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I've had it before they even had AI functions like the Master Assistant and stuff. And let me tell you, from 9 to 10, there was a big jump. From 10 to 11, there is a big jump. The basis of where the AI could get you, just the structure, is fucking good. Like, I'm actually pretty impressed. And I'll show you guys right here. So this is before. I'm just gonna take out Ozone 11 completely right here. I'm gonna put Ozone 11 back on, and I'm just gonna use the fucking AI feature and just show you guys exactly what it could do. So here, I'm gonna click this, and I'm just gonna hit play.
Baby screaming when she see a sus, nigga. Sport mode, ain't no keeping up with me. Last dude broke, can't afford a 4-star. Baby run plays, I make her the point guard. She so I know she going for it.
Ooh. Sometimes that happens, you know what I'm saying?
Baby screaming when she see a sus, nigga. Sport mode, ain't no keeping up with me. Last dude broke, can't afford a 4-star. Baby run plays, I make her the point guard.
After you use the AI, it does give you this very easy way to utilize all their settings and stuff. I like to go here and I'll just utilize it straight up. So you guys can see it added some mastery balance that actually boosted up the vocal level, the volume of it a little bit. We got some equalizer, some impact, an imager, some clarity, of course, stabilizer, dynamic EQ, and our maximizer.
Baby screaming when she see a sus, nigga. Sport mode, ain't no keeping up with. Last dude broke, can't afford a 4-star. Baby.
And that's just a great starting point in an instant. Literally, it took like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and I got a great starting point. I can even, if this is a reference or a rough track, I can even just leave it like that and export. You know what I'm saying? It's really dope. And one of the last things I want to show you guys, this little bonus tip for y'all, is dynamic compression in your mastering chain in Ozone 11 Advanced. So I specifically use this technique for hip hop and rap because the bass be overpowering. But the thing is, I can't be lowering the bass or whatever because the client will be unhappy. They want that heavy, hard hitting bass. You know what I'm saying? So what I'll do is I'll go over here to dynamics. I'll bring this over here before the maximizer. Now click in my little points of where I want my frequency range. I'll have like a low, a mid, low, mid, high, and high. I want my auto gain on right there. I'm gonna turn RMS, and I'm just gonna go through starting with the low frequency.
Baby screaming when she see a sus, nigga. Sport mode, ain't no keeping up with. Last dude broke, can't afford a 4-star. Baby run plays, I make her the point.
So I'm actually compressing just certain frequency segments. You feel me? So right here,
baby screaming when she see a sus, nigga. Sport
just the
mode,
bass.
ain't no keeping up with. Last dude broke,
We got the mid low right here. Mid.
Baby run plays, I make her the point guard.
We got the highs.
She's so bad, I know she going for it. This right Europeans driving like a toy car. You cannot stop me when I be locked in. Them boys did me cold, we are not friends. If it's not money, bro, I do not spend. Every month I stack 10, you just wanna stock 10. You can have the streets, you will not live. I'm a player, I've been him way before I got big. Pull up on the queen like, hop in. If this rap shit ain't
You guys
working,
see,
bro,
I'm actually raising that gain right there too for a little bit of a bass boost. I mean, there's no rules at a certain point, right? You can kind of do whatever, but yeah. So this is like some ways you can kind of just help control the bass, especially with this compressor right here. Leave your limiter at 0, just kind of mess with your compressor. You just want to see where your range is at. I try to stick a -1, -2 with the parallel at about like 50%. I don't want to over compress, especially with the bass and hip hop. It's just too much sometimes. So this works out really well. And that concludes our tutorial on how to use the Ozone 11 Advanced on your hip hop mix. I hope this tutorial really helped you guys out. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to hit me up on Instagram at combat_K. And if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that helps me out a lot so I continue to help you guys out. And make sure you guys leave a comment below on how you guys are using Ozone 11 Advanced. I'm really curious on how y'all using it at home, whether it's the same genre like hip hop rap or another one like pop rock, whatever it is. I would love to see it. Let's get it.